Hey y'all, this is Perry Fields. I just got back from a workout. This is my favorite time to do clay foot baths. I try to do foot baths a couple of times a week, and I do usually after workouts if my feet are a little sore, because I know that if my feet get sore or cramped up, then the rest of my body is going to be sore and cramped up. So keeping your feet nice and flexible and relaxed and getting all the proper muscles massaged and loose is extremely important. So what I want to talk to you about the clay baths are, basically you can go get a bucket like this at Home Depot. If you have friends who do construction like I do, you can get buckets for free. They're about $5 at Home Depot, not a big deal. And I use my Energized Magnetic Clay Bath Detox. This is on the TixSlayer website. It's really nice green desert calcium clay, very fine mesh that's used to process this, and so it's a very small particle, and the alkalinity is just off the charts. It's a 10, which is fantastic. And just on a side note, I got a little carried away with having a couple of beers last weekend after I did the incline. And the incline is a really hard workout here in Colorado Springs. It's basically an old railroad that goes up a mountain for a mile and climbs 2,000 feet. I think it might be over 2,000 feet, I'm not sure. So I was totally trying to wax these guys on it, which I did. And I had some beers and I felt really sick, and that night I totally threw up. Right before bed. And I took a tablespoon of this. Actually, it wasn't even a tablespoon, it was a teaspoon. Actually, it wasn't this, it was the internal clay that's also on the website. But I'm just trying to give you an example of what happens. And when you throw up, you know that acid feeling that you get in your stomach, your esophagus, even in your mouth. It's really disgusting. It's terrible, actually, to throw up and have that acid in your throat and on your teeth. So when I was done throwing up, I had a teaspoon of the internal clay, and it was fantastic. Within 30 minutes, I was able to go to bed. I slept sound like a baby, and all that acid feeling was completely gone. So that's fantastic. So why I like doing clay foot baths is because you're basically stimulating detoxification pathways, and these are things that my coaches never told me about this stuff. You know, if you're sore, they'll tell you to drink more water, and they'll tell you to go do a shakeout run, or go get on a spin bike and spin it out and try to get it out of your legs. You can do that, and that's part of the recovery. But even a better way that I learned because I got sick is doing clay baths twice a week and doing clay foot baths a couple of times a week. And that's actually a good way for you to get well, especially for your nervous system and stimulating your detoxification pathways, because what you can do while you're soaking in the clay, the alkalinity, you can also use essential oils. And essential oils are really fantastic. A lot of naturopaths will, and even MDs now, are using essential oils internally and externally. While you can take my oils, they're so high quality that you could take them internally. I prefer the ones that are balance, calming, and grounding. They're all blends. I prefer them to be used on the skin, which basically gets inside your body anyway. You can take these individually and rub them on the bottom of your feet, which is very porous. It's a good way to get them into your body. You can put them in different areas. I know with the balance one, this one is really good for opening up chakras. You can just sit there and put a little drop and rub it counterclockwise on all of your meridians or chakras. It makes you feel really good. Balance is my favorite. It's got a blend of, I guess it's about 12, 13 different things. And why I like the blends is because some of you have gotten scans done before with either a body scan or a Zyto, and you're getting all of these, all this biofeedback as far as what oils would be most beneficial to that person. The problem is that it changes daily. And it's kind of like nutritional balancing or nutrient balancing. Every single day is a little different, sometimes a lot different depending on what your diet is. So it's very difficult to decide on what exactly I need for that day. So getting a bunch of single copals or single essential oils probably is not a really good use of your time or money. I highly prefer blends to take internally for infection and blends for bathing. Now all of these that I did are specifically for helping the central nervous system and helping for neuromuscular issues, which a lot of people who have Lyme disease, those are some of the top complaints, and I understand because I was there at one point too. But it's kind of like working out. You know, when you work out, your central nervous system takes a beating. It really takes a huge beating. Every time that I go from a really hard workout, if I go get on the On-the-Med or get any kind of biofeedback, central nervous system pops up every single time. So that kind of gives you an understanding. So what I do is I'll take half a cup of the bath. I'll fill this bucket up to cover most of my calves. I'll do pretty warm to hot water, and I'll sit there and soak my feet for about 20 minutes, getting some of the acid out of my feet, out of the lower legs, and of course it creates a little bit of a cascading effect. So just because your feet are in the water doesn't mean that you're not pulling out some of the toxins from other places. Now of course a full submerged bath is the best, but let's face it, I mean, you know, some of you guys, y'all hate soaking in the bath. I don't know why, but guys hate that, and they also hate doing enemas. So for you guys, you know, go get a bucket from your buddy and start soaking your feet. That's what I would do. So if you have questions, oh, let me tell you about how many drops I would do too, because that's always a really common question. I would do 5 to 7 drops of the blends, and for a foot bath. And for a full bath, I would do 10 to 15 drops, and probably would do all 3. So you're hitting a lot of energetic points by getting the 3 blends, because you've got about 25 different oils here that are very, very helpful for the nervous system. So enjoy. If you have questions, you can go to thetickslayer.com, you can get on the forum, and of course posting on the forum is a great idea because it lets other people see what my answers are. Okay? Alright, well y'all take care, and all the best in your recovery.